All right, wanted to hop in here and share some education for you guys who might be struggling with what to eat, when to eat, how often to eat, and really curious about, okay, what are macros? Are carbs good? Are carbs bad? Wondering what you should be eating all throughout the day while you're trying to reach your health goals. I want to share this with you because it's a concept that was taught to me maybe like 4 years ago, and it's actually really helped just kind of balance my food all throughout the day without feeling like I'm on a diet, without feeling like I need to stick to a specific plan, and like I can't live my life, okay? So here is the deal, guys. All food is energy. All food is energy. When you put food into your body's like, ooh, she's giving me energy. What am I going to do with it? How can I use this energy? Okay, so based on where you're at throughout the day, what activities you're doing is really important as to when you're putting certain kinds of foods into your body, okay? So if you think about, if I need to lose fat, what do I need to do? You need to burn more energy. So if food is energy, you need to burn more energy. So if you need to lose fat, your body needs to burn more calories, more energy, more fat in a day than you take in, okay? Does that make sense? So if you were to eat an excess of, what your body burns off in a day, so let's say everybody's different. You can't go off this 100-calorie diet or this 100-calorie diet because every single body is different. I do different things than you do throughout the day. I put off more energy or less energy than you do. So our bodies need different things. Maybe I have different body composition goals than you have. You know what I mean? So like if I need to lose 10 pounds of fat and you only need to lose 5, everything's going to be a little bit different. So just know that there's no one size fits all program, but you can start to incorporate this concept into every day. And the cool thing is no matter where you're at, without stress. Okay. So if you were to, take in more energy in a day than your body burns, you will store fat. So this is about 1 pound of fat, and 1 pound of fat is about maybe 3,500 calories, I think. So if you need to lose 1 pound of fat, how do you do that? You need to burn more calories, energy, in a day. So let's say you want to lose 1 pound of fat a week. That's like burning an extra 500 calories a day than you take in. Okay. Does that make sense? So no, you don't need to count your calories. I'm going to teach you how to really balance your carbohydrates, balance your macros very simply, no matter where you're at with whatever you're doing. So first of all, you need to learn what is a carbohydrate, what is a fat, what is a protein, okay? So really quick, basically everything that's not a lean source of protein, like your ground beef, your chicken, your eggs, your fish, tilapia, maybe some more ground beef, is going to be a carbohydrate, okay? Almost every single thing. And it's not that there's no protein in some of those things. You're going to take what is it higher in, okay? So when you take a banana, okay, maybe there's some protein in it. I don't know if there is, but it's mostly carbohydrate, okay? So a lot of people look at beans and they're like, oh, there's protein in beans. Yes, there is protein in beans, but it's higher in carbohydrates. So we're going to store this in your carbohydrate little bank, okay? Another thing is yogurt. People are like, oh, it says protein on there. Okay, getting my protein in. Oh, but check that label because you might also be adding in 44 grams of carbs, okay? So kind of think about what is this mostly higher in, okay? The higher end, okay? And you can also use different apps if you're unsure, called like MyFitnessPal app and that kind of thing. So basically all fruits are going to be carbohydrates. They're still good for you. They're good carbs. Your body can process this carbohydrate so much easier than a candy bar, a super processed candy bar. Okay, they might have the same amount of carbs, but your body can break this down because it's natural and your body was created to do that versus something that was super processed. So we'll save that for another training. But for now, we just want to make sure you're not taking in an excess so that you can reach your goals, okay? So fruits, any kind of breads or oatmeals, this is all fake food, by the way. Oatmeals, pastas, those are all going to be carbohydrates, okay? So how much do you eat and when. Okay, everybody's a little bit different. This is a kind of theory that I've been using for years, and it works really, really well. So most people, on average, can burn about 30 carbs in one sitting, okay? So unless you're like training really hard in the gym or you're running a marathon, most people can burn about 30 carbs in one sitting, okay? And I'm gonna show you how easy it is to go over this, especially when you're not like on your plan or you're just having a fun night out. And so if you think about it, if you eat more than 30 carbs in one sitting, if that's what your body truly does burn, what's gonna happen? Your body is forced to store it as fat because your body doesn't know, oh, you're on a girls' night or oh, you're on a date night. When your body takes food in, it takes in energy. And if you don't use that energy, it's going to store it as fat. Our bodies are really, really, really cool and they do really cool things. So they're smart and they think, oh, I'm going to need that for later because she might get sick or she might need to run, and chase her kids down the street. So your body thinks she's giving me energy. I'm going to use what I can now, but I'm going to store the rest later. Okay. So that's kind of what happens. So if you're going to have more than, 30 grams of carbs at a time, your body's going to probably store anything over that as, fat because that's what it does. Now, why am I focusing on carbs? Mainly because if you look at your day, there's not a lot of people gaining extra energy, extra fat from eating too much protein. Most of us, any fat that we've gained that was unwanted, it came from carbohydrates like, breads and sugary drinks, desserts, not too much lean protein. You know what I mean? Like I can honestly say I've never gained 20 pounds because I've had too many chicken breasts. Guys, I just can't stop eating the chicken breasts. Like, oh, like take it away. No, it's coming from us eating too much carbohydrates, okay? So how do you go throughout your day and, monitor that carbohydrate intake? Okay, so you can use your palms. And for most people, the sizes of your palms, one size is about 15 grams of carbs. Now, if you're a bigger person or you have really big hands, and I don't mean big person, but if you have really large hands, you might be a little bit less because this right here, this serving of beans is about 15 grams of carbs and it's about the size of my palm size. This serving of oatmeal, when's the last time you had oatmeal and this is all you had? This is about 15 grams of carbs. It's probably one packet of oatmeal, but most people, they're like, I'm going to have two, or I'm going to fill the whole bowl full of oatmeal. So, if you were to have this for a breakfast, you could actually have two of these and then add in your protein. Maybe you do a protein powder or eggs with this. So every time you sit down to a meal, you can literally think, okay, if I can have 30 grams of carbs in this sitting, I can fill up two palm sizes. So let's take breakfast. Let's say that we have this plate here. And we've got our oatmeal, that's 15 grams of carbs. And then we've got our blueberries, another 15 grams of carbs. And then what are we missing? Our protein. Okay, so we could have, and think about this, I try to have at least 15 to 20 grams of protein every single time I eat because like I said, no one's gaining fat from eating too much lean protein. And protein is very filling. It's gonna help you build lean muscle. Protein is the building block for muscle. So the more muscle your body has, the higher your metabolism is too. So I would always have a protein every single time you eat because it's going to help you stay fuller. It's going to help you not overeat on the carbohydrates and it's going to help you build muscle. So in one egg, there's about 6 grams of protein. So I would probably have 3 to 4 of these eggs and that could be my meal. Okay. So that would be a healthy, balanced breakfast. Okay. Now it's time for lunch. Super simple. Maybe you're out at a restaurant or maybe you're at home and you're like, I want a sandwich. Okay. So your sandwich, you could have one piece of this is supposed to be 15 grams of carbs, but it could be a little bit more because that's kind of bigger than my hand. So 2 pieces of bread, you could do a sandwich and then have another piece of bread on top of that, and that would be your meal. Now, if you were to add in, let's say you're at the Panera and they make you a sandwich, what do they normally do? Do you want an apple, a baguette, or a bag of chips with that? And people are like, yes, I'll take an apple. That's a healthy choice. So let's say this was an apple. Then you're over your carbohydrates. Even if you're eating wheat bread and a healthy apple, you would be over. So that's how people are simply saying, I eat healthy, I eat really healthy. Why am I storing fat? Well, even healthy stuff, can cause your body to store fat, okay? So just know, about 30 grams of carbs is what you need to be staying at. No more than that in a sitting, unless, like I said, you're training for a marathon or you're having an extreme fitness workout throughout your day to burn off these calories right around those meal times, okay? Dinner, same thing. You could do some fish, you could do some rice, and you could do, this is technically free. You could do some carrots. I've got some carrots in here. So you could do a serving of carrots. So this would be 15 grams of carbs, 15 grams of carbs, about 20 grams for my protein, okay? That could be my meal. Now, I like to eat, and maybe I'm really, really hungry at dinner, and I'm like, oh, I'm so hungry. I need more energy. What you can do is know that green means go. Green is like free. So anything green, like green beans, asparagus, broccoli, cauliflower even, is kind of, cauliflower is like a free, it's not a high carb vegetable. So you could add that in and you could eat this whole plate and that would keep you under your 30 grams of carbohydrates and you would probably be really, really full. But especially if you were to eat through like this throughout the day, you probably wouldn't even need all this to be full at dinner. Does that make sense? And one thing that's really, really helped me is to get my carbohydrates in before 4 o'clock. So my starchy carbohydrates, like this guy and this guy, get those in before 4 o'clock because starchy carbs are really good. Your body absolutely needs them. The problem, I'm not anti-keto, but the problem with the keto diet is most people cannot do it. They cannot stick with it. And so they're constantly failing and constantly kind of like, jacking up their metabolism a little bit. So this is what I would have for dinner. So my rule for myself, about 5-6 days a week, I stick to this plan and I do no starchy carbs after 4 o'clock. So this is basically kind of the theme that I would have for dinner is having, a lean protein and then non-starchy carbs for dinner. And that's really, really a helpful tool if you're trying to lose body composition, lose fat, not lose your body composition, lose body fat. This is a great way to kind of plan out your day. The other thing too is really be mindful. So a lot of times people don't understand, like, let's say we went to Chick-fil-A, okay? And people are like, why am I gaining fat? I got the grilled chicken sandwich and a salad, but maybe they got a sweet tea, So the grilled chicken sandwich, like we said, you've got your 15 grams of carbs here and you got 2 pieces of bread. And then you got your sweet tea or a Coke, or maybe you got fries. Like a traditional Chick-fil-A meal, like a sandwich meal, you've got your breading in the chicken. I don't know how much that is, but your bread is probably 30 carbs right there. So that kind of caps you off there. But if you were to have fries with that, which most people do, if you were to have a soda with that, most people do, you're probably sitting at, conservatively 75 carbs just in that one meal. And you're like, well, I ate healthy the other meals. You know what I mean? So anyways, that's kind of like a quick little rundown on how to balance your day. So just take it one meal at a time. Like, where's my protein? Fill your plate with lean protein first. And then find your carbs and say, what has carbs in it? And remember too, milk is actually a carbohydrate. People are like, oh, there's protein in milk. Yeah, there's some protein, but it's actually highest in carbohydrates. And 1 glass of milk is actually about 15 grams of carbs. Okay, I think the chocolate milk, this is actually 30 grams of carbs, depending on how much sugar is added. You can always check the label on that, but just be mindful of everything that you're putting in your body and really start to balance those. Use your palm sizes. Okay, I'm sitting down, what can I do here without plugging into a calculator or anything like that? And even too, like a banana. So a lot of times people will say, oh, I'm eating healthy, I'm gonna lose weight, here we go. My breakfast. I'm like, what do you have for breakfast? They're like, oh, I make a healthy smoothie every morning. It's so healthy. And I'm like, okay, cool. What's in it? They're like, well, I put some blueberries and I put a banana and I put some yogurt and I put some protein powder and some almond milk or some milk, and you can stack up a super high carb, even though it's super healthy foods, shake. And that one healthy thing that you honestly, could go have a donut for less carbohydrates, and be, healthier. Like obviously your body processes, fruits a lot better than a donut, but again, it's got to be in moderation. So it's really kind of eye-opening to see, okay, like what can I do? What can I have here? How do I not overeat, and over fuel my body? Okay. So let me know if that helps you. No portion sizes, because America is crazy. Like if you go to McAllister's, that's one of my favorite places to eat. My kids love it. The potatoes that they give you, you can get a grilled chicken potato. Okay. Super good, super healthy, real food. But then they're giving you 2 whole potatoes. And so that's probably 60 grams of carbs if you were to eat the whole thing, because this right here is about 15 grams of carbs, okay? So if you eat a healthy McAllister's potato, instead of having a sandwich or a fried fast food meal, I went to McAllister's and I got the potato, but the carbs are 60 grams of carbs. And again, unless you're moving your body, you're not gonna store those, you're not gonna burn off all those carbohydrates, even though they're healthy, even though they're really good for you and your body needs some of them, it will be forced to store it as fat, okay? So let me know if there's anything I can do to help. But maybe rewatch the video too and empower yourself just to take it one meal at a time. And this is really helpful too if you want to have a pizza night, or you want to have chips and queso. Okay, yes, I can do that, and I can make it work within my day. Does that make sense? So anyways, yeah, that's all I got for you. Hope that helps. Have a great day.